Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you've had one of those moments where a familiar name is just out of reach, sitting on the tip of your tongue, but no matter how hard you try, it just won't come to you? If that sounds familiar, don't worry, you're in good company. These little slips are common, especially after 65, and while they might be harmless, they can still feel frustrating. But here's the good news. Your brain is incredibly adaptable even as you age. In fact, just like your muscles, your brain stays strong when you use it the right way. That's what today's video is all about. We're going to walk through 7 simple brain exercises you can do every morning, and no, we're not talking about anything complicated or time-consuming. These are gentle, powerful habits you can build right into your routine to sharpen your focus, strengthen your memory, and delay cognitive decline. Because here's the truth, growing older doesn't have to mean growing foggier. With a few intentional practices, you can stay clear, alert, and mentally active for years to come. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked but incredibly effective brain exercises, using your non-dominant hand. Now, this might sound odd at first. Why would brushing your teeth with your left hand or stirring your coffee differently do anything for your brain? Well, it turns out that switching up your routine like this forces your brain out of autopilot. When you use your non-dominant hand, you're actually engaging new neural pathways, essentially lighting up parts of the brain that don't get much use in your everyday activities. It's like waking up sleepy parts of your mind and telling them, hey, we still need you. And it doesn't have to be just brushing your teeth. You could try buttoning your shirt, opening doors, or even writing a word or two with your opposite hand. It might feel clumsy at first, but that challenge? That's where the magic happens. Now, once your brain is awake, it's time to get the blood flowing, and not just through your body, but through your mind. That's where light movement comes in. I'm not talking about anything extreme. Even a slow walk around your home or a few gentle stretches by the window can work wonders. Why does this help your brain? Because physical movement increases circulation, which helps bring oxygen and nutrients to the brain. It's like giving your brain a nice warm breakfast. It wakes it up, fuels it, and gets it ready to think clearly. There's one little routine I personally love. While standing, I slowly lift one knee at a time and touch it with the opposite hand. Right hand to left knee, then left hand to right knee. It's simple, but it gets both sides of your brain working together and gets your coordination going. Plus, it's a fun way to feel more connected to your body first thing in the morning. Now that the body's engaged, let's give your brain a little challenge. And for this next one, all you need is your imagination. Visualization is a powerful mental workout. It doesn't always get the credit it deserves, but your brain responds to imagined experiences almost the same way it does to real ones. So here's a little exercise you can try. Every morning, pick something you're going to do later that day. Maybe it's making lunch, calling your daughter, or watering the garden. Now close your eyes, take a deep breath, and walk through it in your mind. Imagine every little detail. The sound of the phone ringing, the way the water flows from the watering can, the smell of food cooking. Make it as real as you can. What you're doing here is sharpening your brain's ability to plan, remember, and focus. You're also strengthening the connection between intention and action. It's like rehearsing for your day, and just like an actor rehearsing lines, it helps everything go more smoothly. This kind of mental imagery not only improves memory and concentration, but it also reduces stress. It gives you a calm, focused way to start your morning, like tuning your brain before playing the music of your day. So let's take a breath together. You've already done more for your brain in a few minutes than many people do all day. You're rewiring, recharging, and remembering that you are still fully capable of growth and clarity at any age. Now that we've looked at using your non-dominant hand, adding gentle movement, and practicing daily visualization, let's keep going. Your mind is more ready than ever for the next layer of this routine. One of the most powerful tools we have for keeping our brain healthy is something that doesn't cost a thing and takes just a few minutes. I'm talking about mindful recall. It's exactly what it sounds like, taking a quiet moment each morning to pause and remember. And no, I don't mean scrolling through your phone or flipping through yesterday's mail. I mean sitting still, maybe with your morning tea or coffee, and gently trying to recall something from the day before. What did you have for lunch? Who did you talk to? What was the weather like? Try to picture the details. Not just the facts, but the colors, sounds, even emotions attached to those memories. This little mental stretch helps strengthen your brain's recall function, and over time, it can sharpen your memory in a big way. It's like jogging through the halls of your mind, dusting off the corners that might otherwise grow quiet. And the beauty of it is, you're not testing yourself, you're simply tuning in. One woman I spoke to told me she does this during her breakfast. She sits by the window, looks out at her garden, and tries to walk through her previous day like she's flipping through a photo album. And some days, she says, she surprises herself with what she remembers. It's those quiet mental victories that build confidence and keep your memory strong. From recall, we move into something a bit more playful, and just as powerful. Language games. Now, before you worry this is going to feel like school again, let me assure you, this one is fun. All you have to do is pick a category and challenge yourself to name as many items as you can that fit within it. For example, fruits that start with the letter B. Or cities you visited. Or even classic songs from your teenage years. The key here is that you're nudging your brain to search, retrieve, and connect information. And that process lights up some of the most important memory centers in your brain. What's really lovely is how flexible this can be. You can do it while brushing your hair, folding laundry, or even during a walk. I knew a gentleman who played this game every morning with his wife over breakfast. They'd take turns challenging each other. Name 5 things you'd pack for a picnic, but they all have to start with the letter S. It made them laugh, it got their minds moving, and it gave their mornings a special kind of spark. You might be surprised how tricky it gets some days, and that's a good thing. The challenge is where your brain gets its workout. Like flexing a mental muscle, the more you do it, the stronger your recall, focus, and verbal agility become. Let's keep the momentum going now because there's one more practice that ties all of these together, and it's one that many people overlook. Writing by hand. Now, I know it might feel old-fashioned in this digital age, but picking up a pen and writing down just a few lines each morning is one of the most brain-friendly habits you can build. It doesn't need to be a full journal entry. You can jot down your thoughts, a dream you remember, a goal for the day, or even something you're grateful for. When you write by hand, you're using different parts of your brain than when you type. You're engaging motor control, memory, and even emotional processing all at once. It's like a mini brain circuit workout, and it doesn't take more than 5 minutes. A woman once told me that she writes a postcard to herself every morning, not to mail, just to keep. She pretends she's traveling and describes her day from a new perspective. Some days she's in Paris, some days in her own backyard, but every morning, she's using her imagination, language, and memory in a beautiful, creative way. Whether it's a gratitude list, a short poem, or just a note about how you're feeling, that daily writing practice becomes more than a brain exercise. It becomes a reflection, a connection to yourself. And remember, these exercises aren't about being perfect. They're not about testing yourself or worrying over what you can or can't do. They're about showing up for your mind with curiosity and care. Every time you engage in these small mental habits, you're telling your brain, I value you. I want you strong. I'm not done growing. And that's a powerful message at any age. So whether you're sipping your morning tea or just opening your eyes to the day ahead, these simple practices, recall, word games, writing, can become quiet rituals that sharpen your focus, lift your mood, and gently protect your brain over time. Your mornings don't have to feel rushed or foggy. They can be filled with intention, joy, and a sense of mental clarity. And that starts with choosing to care for your mind as lovingly as you do for the rest of your body. Now that we've explored these next few brain boosters, let's keep going, because there's still more you can add to your mornings to feel alert, empowered, and mentally vibrant. Now, one of the most overlooked ways to spark your brain in the morning is through movement. Specifically, movement with intention. I'm not talking about strenuous exercise or long routines that wear you out before the day even begins. I'm talking about gentle, focused movement that wakes up both your body and your brain. Something as simple as stretching while you breathe deeply can light up your nervous system. When you move your arms in slow, deliberate circles, stretch your back, or roll your shoulders with awareness, you're not just helping your joints, you're sending signals to your brain that say, we're awake, we're present, we're ready. Even better is when you combine physical movement with mental focus. For instance, while you stretch, try counting backward from 20, or naming a different color with each movement. It might sound silly at first, but this kind of dual task activity is fantastic for maintaining brain flexibility and coordination. It keeps you sharp by challenging your brain to do more than one thing at once, something that becomes especially important as we age. There's a man I once met who swore by his thinking walk. Every morning, he would stroll slowly through his garden, gently swinging his arms, and reciting poems or lyrics from songs he loved in his younger years. Sometimes he'd hum a tune and try to remember all the words. It was his peaceful little ritual, and he believed it kept his memory clearer than ever. And honestly, it showed. His recall and sense of humor were razor sharp. That brings us to one final, beautiful practice, and I truly think it's one of the most powerful of them all. It's the habit of visualization. Now, this might sound like something reserved for athletes or artists, but it's something every one of us can do, and the benefits are remarkable. When you wake up in the morning, before you rush into the day's tasks or turn on the TV, take a few minutes to simply close your eyes and picture something in detail. It could be a place you love, a beach, a cabin in the woods, your childhood home. Or it could be something you want to experience, like a peaceful walk, a joyful moment with family, or even just sitting outside in the sun. What you're doing when you visualize isn't just daydreaming. You're training your brain to imagine, to construct, to hold images, and that activates the same areas of the brain involved in memory and creativity. It can lift your mood, reduce stress, and strengthen your ability to focus. And here's the best part. It gives you something to look forward to. Visualization taps into your inner life, your hopes, your memories, your imagination. It reminds you that your world is still wide and vibrant, no matter what your age is. Some people find it helpful to pair visualization with music. A soft tune in the background, even classical or instrumental, can enhance the experience. Others like to journal right afterward, jotting down what they saw or felt. There's no right or wrong way to do it, only your way. You see, all of these practices we've talked about, the recall, the language play, the writing, the movement, the visualization, aren't random exercises. They're small doors to something much bigger. They're ways of telling your brain, you're still growing. You still matter. Aging doesn't mean slowing down your mind. It means learning how to care for it more gently and wisely. It means finding joy in the little things, like remembering a sweet moment from yesterday, laughing at a word game with your partner, or imagining yourself dancing on a beach with the breeze in your hair. So, as we wrap up this conversation, I want to leave you with this thought. You don't have to do all of these exercises every single day. Even choosing one or two to begin with can make a real difference. The key is consistency, not perfection. Just like you nourish your body with good food and movement, your mind deserves daily care too. Start your morning with a few quiet minutes. A bit of writing, a gentle stretch, a memory walk, a spark of imagination. These are simple gifts you give yourself, and they add up over time. They build resilience. They build clarity. And most importantly, they help you stay connected to yourself, to your loved ones, and to the life you're still creating every single day. And hey, if something in this video spoke to you, if a little idea sparked or reminded you of something you love doing, go ahead and share it in the comments. I'd love to hear about your morning habits or any brain boosters you've found helpful. This space is all about community, encouragement, and growing together, no matter our age. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss these weekly moments of inspiration and advice. You've still got so much life to live, so much joy to feel, and yes, so much wisdom to share. Your brain is your lifelong companion. Treat it kindly, keep it curious, and trust that it's never too late to grow. Here's to sharper mornings, peaceful minds, and a life that keeps surprising you in all the best ways.